Amendment 3 has created a lot of buzz here in the state of Florida, and it's crucial that voters understand the real impact of what it'll do here in our state. Now, here at My Florida Green, we believe in having a healthy discourse when it comes to controversial topics, especially ones like Amendment 3. So in an effort to create a fair and balanced conversation about Amendment 3, on October 23rd, we invited the Policy Director of Smart and Safe, Jake Hoffman, the committee behind Amendment 3, to join us in a live stream discussion. Now, rather than having a debate, we engaged in a discussion to help educate voters and ultimately allow you to decide. In this clip from our discussion, we explore how Amendment 3 will actually spend the tax revenue generated from recreational versus what is being said in the marketing. The truth may be quite surprising. There's been a lot of marketing going out, right? Saying that the new tax revenue from the new amendment is going to be used for educational purposes, healthcare, and these other vital programs. What assurances does Amendment 3 give to Floridians that the state's going to use this tax revenue in this manner?
Again, the constitutional amendment isn't going to doesn't define exactly where it's going to go. It's not in the language of where it needs to go. And so again, the reality is when it goes to Tallahassee and they start having this giant bag of unmarked cash, basically, they are going to decide where it goes. And I've heard people lobbying already for it, right? Like I've heard, people who were city councilmen, they're like, give it to the cities, and the county commissioners are like, give it to the counties, and firefighters are like, give it to the firefighters, and let's get mental health, and then police. And so there is no assurance to where it is going to go. The only assurance is that, people who are clogged up in the legal system, because people still get ticketed all the time for this. Maybe they're not sent to prison, but it is something that they are still ticketed, and they go through the process, and they're this. So it will save us money for police. It will save us money in that type of the law enforcement world. But as far as like where the sales tax revenue is going to go, that's a Tallahassee question that's going to be determined next session if this passes.
There's a lot of uncertainties. Yeah, it's kind of the theme here with this, and I think that's kind of my point. That's my point, though. That's my point of concern. Because again, remember, I'm coming from a space that I'm really looking out for our patients, right? Because I cannot tell you how powerful that this plant can be for thousands and thousands of people, and when I can't look them in the face and say yes, this is a good thing when there's all these maybes. Maybe you'll be able to get homegrown.
That's kind of how the medical marijuana amendment was too. There was a lot of people who fought against the medical marijuana amendment, and they said, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And exactly what happened with the medical program was you get it passed as a constitutional amendment, and then it goes in and it turns into, the framework that it has today. And is it perfect? I'd argue it's not. But like it's again, I won't go back to do the whole football analogy again, but it's progress down the field. And this is how you get progress.
No, I appreciate that. And I guess just to give an alternative analogy for folks to think about it, when your foundation is not built properly, which I would say that the elements of the amendment, the foundation is not built properly, what's going to happen is you're going to stack things on top of it and it's all going to fall apart. That would be my analogy for that. But just kind of moving on to this. So, and then the same thing, for where this tax revenue is going to go, a lot of promises. We have no assurances where it's going to go. And it's just very misleading when I see all this marketing coming to my house saying it's going to go here, it's going to go there. There's no assurances of that. And people continue to compare this amendment to Colorado's amendment. It's called Amendment 64, right? Theirs is different. Ours is nothing like that. So they don't have vertical integration. So that was different. Smaller cultivators were able to enter the market. But the other part, though, is they actually have it mandated as to where those funds are supposed to go, and it still
don't go there, by the way.
And they still don't get there. Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's probably the leadership over in that side of
I won't go into the whole Colorado issue, but it is an important one, and I think that's part of the why you don't make promises when you don't have the ability to control the purse strings ultimately in Tallahassee. Like there's a lot of things that happen in Tallahassee where like the funds are supposed to go to a certain place, and then same thing in the federal government. Look, things are earmarked to go somewhere, and then politicians go up there and then they move it somewhere else. It's like Social Security, right? Social Security is supposed to be used on Social Security, but they borrow from it all the time and they spend it on war, right? So like this is the unfortunate political reality for how this type of stuff works.
If If you want to see the entire live stream discussion, unscripted and unedited, go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to our Facebook page for My Flow to Green, or you can get the audio versions on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Feel free to check us out. Get educated before you vote.